This screen reminds me of playing the mortuary assistant. Goodness, that was a long time ago. But no less stupid. I have not become more intelligent in the meantime. I have merely become better equipped with cat. Indeed. Right then, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a bit more of The Evil Within, and some bottle caps. Good, I can go and buy a varmint rifle from the Good Springs store. Right then, so presumably we're going to have to continue in this very dark environment, but at least I know I can throw these about with reckless abandon, which still confuses me.
Brilliant. Reuben was quite insane. A compromise of ethics on my part. He seemed motivated, obsessed with revenge against something never specified. We discovered what he was doing in secret. Torturing. Pinching for traps. A serial killer masquerading around as a scientist.
What a naughty boy he's been. Right then. Oh good, that's just an ordinary light. I thought that was another spotlight face lady. Right then, can I move this with my inordinate levels of physical manliness? I seem to have about managed that. Good. So that will allow me through there. Goodness, this reminds me of those arches in Fallout that scrub you with radiation. If this was the laboratory, that might have been some kind of decontamination arch in order to make sure that you were, goodness, make sure you were taking appropriately scary pictures of people's faces. Giddy on. It reminds me, oh, hooray, another thing. Indeed, a new music. I do wish it said the title of them, but never mind. Not that when they're instrumental, the title is an awful lot of help in identifying which piece of music you might have just got. Ignore the fact that I walked into a post, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, which shouldn't surprise anyone. Right then, I need to not bother searching these lockers, because I can't open them and get things. There are no things to be had. Why are there 3 red lights here? Do I have to do 3 things?
Until system is rebooted.
Oh no.
Thank you for waiting.
That was a surprisingly unmurderous wait. Oh good, more brain surgery. I was so good at this last time. I thought we were going to have to wait. Oh, giddy. Just tell me these ones aren't still alive, which is a small blessing. I thought it was going to be like when we were back in that server room, we had to wait for the elevator to get powered up. Alright, am I not expected to do this? Because if so, excellent.
His demeanor has turned far too aggressive and his techniques even more perverse. Da Vinci would dissect corpses to further his anatomical studies, but what Reuben has done goes beyond. Demanding his subjects be aware as he dissects them to truly see how the mind reacts. He's more of a butcher than an artist. But we must remain scientists above all. I had taught him from a young age that the end shall justify the means, but I could not have predicted things to be this extreme. Mobius has learned of his involvement due to my carelessness. I've asked they bring him on board to assist in development. Perhaps offering him better facilities and support will refocus him and stave off his gruesome proclivities.
Because how many murderous Edgeen psychopaths have you heard of that went to a psychiatric hospital, got put in a padded cell that was a much better facility with support, and then they stopped being a crazy person? I'm sure some of them have stopped being crazy persons, but I don't think most of them do. I think most.
This machine was designed for me. People like you. You took my life away. Turned me into an abomination. Finally, with this machine, I can go back. I can live the life I was supposed to have.
We are forgiving. We are willing to overlook your certain peculiarities for what you can provide us. But you are testing our limits. Our manpower, our resources are not here for your pathetic fantasy. You will reverse the calibration on the machine so we can use it without you.
And what if I say no? You think Jimenez can fix this? You need me, and there's no way around it.
Ruvik. No. Reuben. This was where he was doing his research with us. We were just using him. And I doubt he's the first.
Most of these secret corporations have been around for quite a while. Oh good. This seems happy and cheery. I was entertained by that line where the man said, we're willing to overlook your peculiarities, just hope the audience feels the same way. Sounds like an audio recording of a gruesome surgery, perhaps done on this gruesome table with all of its many gruesome hooks. Kitty art. I do see the analogy to the butcher here. Man, that's not producing any additional light. Oh dear. What, where are we going? Down here, perhaps? Goodness, it's dark. Oh good, and more meat grinder bits. I do so love being ground into ground beef. What the hell is that? That is a bad person that I shouldn't deal with. I am going to go through this door. No, I'm not, because it's been slightly phase shifted out of here. I'm going to need Chief O'Brien to mend it. Kitty art. Yeah, I get that. I just wish it would stay there permanently. Thank you. There's no way she's permanently dead. No way on earth is she permanently dead. She's gonna leap out of that chair. Just like that. Just like that. Now that I think about it, didn't even get time to do a stupid analogy. Alright then. I didn't really want to shower in blood. I'm quite flat. I mean, I'm playing the game. You didn't expect me to do it competently, did you? Right then. Should we have another go at this and be slightly less cretinous this time around? By which I mean not stand around observing the long legs of my friend there, and instead just get on with the matter at hand. No, I'm not looking behind me. I'm just going to walk straight away and actually run this time, unlike last time. Not sure why that didn't work then. Maybe it didn't work because I totally forgot that I have a limited stamina and I should really be more careful with it than I'm being. And I thought that would be the end. But it wasn't. I made another assumption. And we all know what happens to you and me when we do that. We have to go through this song and dance again, and the pacing of the video gets totally screwed. That's what happens. Oh, no, we did reach another checkpoint. How very forgiving of the guy. Alright. Now is the time when we're going to have to wait while that bad guy chases us round. Or bad gal, I suppose I should say.
This may take a few moments.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I'm sure it will take a lot more than a few moments. It will probably take the best part of the afternoon if I know. If I know computers when you're in a pickle. Alright, that was easier than I thought. Kitty out. Let's just run through the door and leave. There we are. Right, okay, that's another one of those bits of the STEM system that have people's brains in it. Where am I going? This way, possibly, perhaps. Probably not, actually. Oh dear. Oh dear. No. Julia, I think. Kitty aunt. I managed to scoop my bum in here just before he managed to bite it off, which is nice. Oddly, the voice of the enemy doesn't sound particularly female. I didn't really want to go out. I was actually quite happy staying in there, but never mind. Well, it hadn't really gone anywhere, had it? Kitty, I would barely even... Oh dear. Oh dear. This is an error. Frankly, I'm amazed you can still speak after being chopped to death by a million incisors. Oh dear, where are we going back to? We're going back to here again. Okay. Shall I try and manage this faster? Or am I going to have to wait until...
Please enjoy this music while waiting.
You've got to be kidding me.
That isn't music. That sounds like a combination of a saloon song from a cowboy movie crossed with Pac-Man music. That's not music. It's very joyous and cheering, but it doesn't really set the scene. A scene of chaos. Alright, come on, 2/3 of the way there. Huzzah and hooray!
Have a productive one.
I'll try. It would certainly be more productive if I wasn't being
Guess I'm all right for now.
murdered by maniacs. Mateful maniacs, possibly.
What the?
Oh. Oh. It'll get you out. I don't like what goes around comes around. The stiletto certainly did. She gone? I don't know. I can't say.
Is it gone?
I do find myself wondering why I didn't take the shoe off its foot. Now that I think about it, because that would have disarmed it of 50% of its ability to murder me. Other than the teeth, of course, which haven't been factored into this equation yet. But oh, it's gonna. It's good. It. What's that? No. Oh. That's a million more of those things, which I think are called cadavers. I was looking at the achievement that we got last week, where how do I crouch again with that button? Yes, the achievement we got last week when one of the enemies accidentally walked into one of these cadaver creatures. It said that the name of this creature was Blast. Literally blast. Boom. I'm not doing very well today, am I? I'm not doing very well in life in general, but you know, that's just what I came here to escape from. But I can't. Is the long and the short of it. Alright. So I have to be a little bit more circumspect about what I'm doing. Let me throw a light under there so that I can see a bit better. And the light will go far further than I frickin' asked it to. Can that... There we are. Lovely. That's an unrequested shower. But you know, other than that... This bloody thing is falling out my ear. Alright. So it seems like once you set them off, if they don't... If they don't hit anything that causes the explosion, they will explode sort of naturally after a period of time. Alright. That seems fair enough. Where the hell am I going? Under here, perhaps? Indeed. That I'm grateful, because it's in the total opposite direction to all of the death that's over there. Okay. Oh yes, of course. These are those weird bank vault doors they have. That seem overly advanced, but never mind. This is pleasant. And by pleasant, I mean anything other than pleasant. Ah dear, I do love a nice gruesome bit of game. Makes such a lovely change from all the cheap jump scares and utter tat that we normally see on the horror game market. I suppose I should have predicted this, given that we had this at the end of the main campaign.
Show me.
Keep your emotions out of this, Jimenez. He brought this upon himself. We gave him a chance.
Where is he?
If you really wish to know, he's in the next room. Come, see.
A light. I'll have this, please. Thank you very much. Right. What? Oh, is that like offering me a trade? No, it's not. It's a very transitory trade. It's not here anymore. Hooray! We have transferred off those silly glow sticks. I haven't seen a glow stick in real life for about 10 or 15 years. But presumably they're still useful for something. Dissection. Oh, good. This is the bit where we get to see Ruvik's brain. Giddy yacht. And all of his bonkers grey matter. Alright, what do we have here? We have a problem, because there's no numbers on here. How do I select which one I want? Okay, so I can highlight them and then move them around as I please. But then what do I do with them? Is there a sequence written somewhere that I can observe? Just keeping my eyes open, just in case a brain pops out of somewhere. You know, it's possible. I don't see anything here, unless it's in like a later area and I have to come back for it, unless there was something back here that I didn't see. The tricky thing, though, is going to be the fact that there's no numbers on it, so it can't just say, like, you know, this one's 5, this one's 10, and this one's 926,702. But I'm not seeing anything in this room either, other than a hell of a lot of gore. Giddy yards. It's kind of like when you see one of those adverts against meat eating that shows a butcher shop as if it was a serial killer's lair. But never mind. We'll keep our eyes open for any combinations that could be useful there. Unless I'm meant to read it off the blood somehow, like the ones where there were the 4 buttons and you had to like hit the bloodiest one first and then the second least bloodiest and so on. Oh. This is all that's left of Ruben.
Despicable. What is this monstrosity?
Despicable? Coming from the man using his own patients to further his own research? The irony of this situation is amusing. But even you must realize what we can do with this.
This means STEM will run. We can continue the experiments.
And your assistance is even more necessary than before.
This whole project, from the beginning, it was about deceit.
Well, I hate to keep harping on the same old banjo string, as it were, but when you work for a secret demon corporation that does secret demon things in secret demon labs, you kind of have to expect the fact that they're lying through their teeth about absolutely everything. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I'm really not, oh, hang on. This seems like the solution to a totally different box. But never mind. How does that compare with the one round the back? It is different. How does that help? Oh, I see. It's not different. It's like the whole screen. That's like the top row and the left row, and then that's like the sub matrix in the bottom right, if you know what I mean. But again, that doesn't really help because that's a solution to a different. Oh no, it's not. It's clearly the solution to this, and I wasn't paying any attention to what it was because I was too busy prattling on about the fact that I am stupid. Right then. So in the bottom 9 bits, we just want this one and this one to be off. So we want all of that. And then we want to see the rest of this, which is the one in the upper right hand corner and the 2 in the lower left. Alrighty then. I really do have no idea how you'd open that other thing without having any kind of combination. It might just be somewhere and I haven't seen it. Seems entirely plausible. Oh, sorry, I thought we were going to a cutscene. We weren't. You know, I also have noticed, this pattern here, that seems to be made up of the Mobius Corporation's architecture, is mirrored by the Mobius Corporation CEO's tie.
I saw what they have done to him, and I am appalled. To think the young boy I mentored is now this. A mass of gray matter in a glorified test tube. Could they have been planning this all along? And what have I become in all of this? They've managed to keep his mind alive by simulating an artificial body. His consciousness is being confined to a mental straitjacket, a gear in their infernal machine. They have even stricken his name and humanity, referring to him by an anagram, Ruvik. A crude joke, as if spitting on his grave. I almost felt the urge to smash the case and end it right there. But my anger was quickly replaced by scientific curiosity. Reuben's legacy will live on. I will spearhead the next step. I will create something of my own out of this tragedy.
You know what the other tragedy is? The audiobook ended before I had time to figure out what Ruvik is an anagram of by trying random combinations of those letters to try and form English words. I didn't succeed, and this is sad. Right then. Ignore my total failure to manipulate the English language for my own advantages.
Prototypes. It requires a physical connection from user to host. But Beacon houses a newer version with a wireless transmitter. All the user hears is a high-pitched tone, and they're connected. We've gotten word Jimenez is prepping for unauthorized usage.
That sound in the patrol car must have been when Jimenez activated it. Perhaps with Sebastian, Oscar. They were all pulled in with me. The stem and beacon. That's where it all started. There must be a way to get out of this world from there.
Interesting. That makes me wonder about something. So, the loud noise is the sound of the stem system being activated, but we heard that sound multiple times during the gameplay. So did that mean that sometimes we were in the stem world and sometimes we weren't? And like every time we heard it again, we were being drawn back in? Because when we heard the noise, that's when things got a little crazier. But then I'm trying to think of any environment we could have been in that...
There are some things here that are to remain in the dark.
I won't turn my light
Especially
on.
for you, kid. You're asking too many questions, ignoring your mission. Running from responsibility. Just like you always do.
No, that's not true. You don't know me.
That much is obvious. But we need to make sure you do what you're told.
You're lying to me, hiding things. I can't trust you, not like this.
You are not required to trust us. Only to obey.
Idiot. Anyone else getting a little bit of a sort of a G-Man vibe off of him? From the old Half-Life games? The old Half-Life games, as opposed to the brand spanking new ones. Crying out loud. Get with the times, Flip. Yeah, sort of the secret man in the suit in the shadows. Hello, Pussycat. I wish to save that game, please. Yes. I feel like I was talking about something before he grabbed my arm, but then I got totally distracted and utterly forgot what it was. So, that's a shame, but never mind. It is the end of Pussycat time, and that is also sad. Right then, oh yes, yeah, I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about the wireless stem system, wasn't I? That's right. Idiot. That looks like the place where I got my injection that allowed me into the stem system in the first place. Where's the light gone? Actually, for that matter, where's the corridor gone? Yes, if we have gone on a little trip to Australia, it would seem everything's gone upside down. That isn't the oldest joke in the book, is it? Giddy, it's dark. Yes, and the things are falling upwards. I feel I'm also not in frame, but never mind. I'm sure you can understand the concept of up without me doing a little bodily demonstration of it for you. Yes, I'm trying to think of any part in the game that might not have been part of the STEM system, but I can't imagine what would have been, because the destroyed city, the place with all the crazy demon enemies and everything, really. Apart from maybe the church? I mean, I didn't even realise how dark it had gotten. I can literally see nothing. Not even getting like a sensation of movement.
You were assigned to your team for a reason. Castellanos, Oda, they know nothing. But they're searching for answers.
Searching for us, you mean?
One of us. But this may be our chance to remove them. Having all of you in one place will provide us with opportunities.
That's not idiot. I thought we transitioned to fixed camera angles. We haven't. We've just transitioned into a much lighter environment, and as I said at the beginning of this DLC, it suddenly betrays the age of the game. But yeah, maybe the church was one of the few places that we went to that was that was a real place, because we know it's a real place from Kidman. The question is whether the
police department. Why am I here?
the question is whether, like, the devil dog and all the rest of the things, like the twins and so forth, were real. But what Kidman said about her family and the cult that were, do you mind? Thank you very much. What she said about the, what she said about the cult makes it sound like they could have created crazy twins and demon dogs. Right, I wish to complain about health and safety regulations, because there's nothing more entertaining than that. Why is the fire escape telling you to go up the stairs? Where I come from, when there's a fire, you go down the stairs. Because, you know, that's how you get out of buildings. Unless we were in the basement previously, and now we're on the ground floor, perhaps? I don't know. Who is missing? Many people. Some people. This person who doesn't have a name. Have you seen this woman? Well, it would help if you told me who she was, but never mind. I assume this is aimed at the criminals, this poster, and not the citizens, right? Because this is rather a scary picture. I assume this is meant to scare you away from doing crime, not make the police seem all friendly and approachable. But never mind. Sorry, I just find this such a bizarre image, because to me that looks like the military, not the police. But that's just the difference between police forces, I suppose. Right then, should we start wandering around and seeing what we can find? Perhaps we can find some more secrets, like another, oh good, an interrogation room in which we can bash people to bits and break all sorts of regulations which don't seem to exist in the worlds of programs like CSI and such like. Can we go through here and see the see through the one-way mirror, or whatever under the sun you call these things? Yes, indeed. Want any collectibles? There's just a computer from about 1812, but other than that, I don't think there's anything of importance. No more funny, laughing snails that we can see that will turn into the developer logo, and then suddenly become a small action figure of a demonized police detective. Which is a heck of a life transformation to go through, you know. Most of us just move on from, like, you know, eating too many biscuits to eating slightly fewer, but giddy aren't. I think whoever's investigating these missing person cases needs to be fired. Fired post-haste and bring some other people in instead. Dear, dear. Oh, here's a collectible and nothing else. That's good, because we seem to miss the vast majority of these in the first... Thank you. That's what I'm going on with the mouse then. We seem to miss most of these in the assignment, so I'm glad that we found a few more. But never mind. Actually, now that I think back to the detective's journals, didn't he say that there were lots of people disappearing?
How's Lily doing?
Great. Everything's going fine. Just wish my wife would be home more to take care of her.
She barely took maternity leave, huh? One of Crimson's finest, I suppose. She's a great cop in her own right, but we can manage without her for a little longer.
You should hope she doesn't hear you say that, or you'll be out in your ass, Joseph.
This looks like it's way before I got here. Everyone's so much younger. But Sebastian's profile didn't say he was married. Let alone a child.
Goodness, finally, I know something more than the people in the game do. That makes a rare change. I find myself wondering why this presumably like police commissioner, like Commissioner Gordon's office, was sitting here reading magazines instead of, you know, doing police work. But never mind, I don't think reading a magazine is going to solve any crimes. But, you know, I don't have a degree in policing, so perhaps I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just go and investigate these rooms as well, just in case there's any sneaky things in there. Maybe there's some glue and I can stick this infernal thing in my ear. No more snails. Oh, there's this. What have we here? Oh, I was going to say, oh, we could just turn it around and find the bit that works. We can't, because there's going to be this many to the left, this many to the right, this many to the left, isn't it? In fact, there it is, yes. I need a pen, and I have none to hand. In fact, I do have pens, I just don't have any paper. At least no paper that I can get without making a horrific noise. There we are. Horrific noise is being produced. Alrighty then. So it's 7 that way, 24 this way. That looks like a 1, but never mind. And then 6 this way. Now, I've got to remember how this worked. It wasn't that you just went 7 that way, and then 24 that way. You had to keep turning it, not that way. You had to keep turning it Yeah, sorry, it's kind of it's like counterintuitive. You have to press D in order to twist it like that way, but never mind. So I think I have to push it. No, I don't have to press D in order to go that way. My brain is just the wrong way round. Never mind. So I have to go this way to get it up to 7, then this way to get it up to 24. No, hang on, have I done that wrong? 20, 21, 22, 23. Dang it, I got it wrong. Should we try this again? There we are. No, because that was 6. Giddy aunt. I was just complaining a while ago that I have to constantly keep proving my mathematical capabilities in job applications. Thinking, oh, if only I had something like a qualification in mathematics, I'd be able to just prove the fact that I'm mathematically capable. But maybe this is evidence of the fact that I'm not. Never mind. Not that these really matter now, because we've missed one, haven't we? So we shan't be able to construct the letter, and we have failed miserably, and our descendants will be most cross about this, but never mind. Let's just check in here, make sure there's nothing here. Can you, yeah, I was wondering whether you wouldn't be able to see that if you looked through in this room. I wondered if that would be the thing. Oh, and chair physics, goodness! Really spoiling us today, aren't they? All these exciting features in these rambunctious modern video games. Alright then. This doesn't seem like an exit. Seems like an exit from the happy place into a miserable place, but you know. Dear, I do get a bit of a Gotham vibe off of the city in the way that it seems to rain quite a lot.
We need to talk. Going off with your conspiracy theories, you're getting out of control. You don't pull that in front of the captain.
I'm onto something, Joseph. I don't need you hiding shit from me too.
I'm not, Sebastian. I'm trying to help. I want to help. But you need to think about this carefully. Your daughter, it was a loss everyone on the force felt. But your wife is...
Myra left, Joseph. She left. When we needed each other the most, Myra left me. What would make her do that? I have to know. I don't care what it costs.
His daughter, then his wife? One right after the other? No wonder he always seemed so closed off.
Giddy aunt. I'm not dreaming. That is exactly what I think it is, isn't it? That is a mound of cigarette butts the size of a birthday cake. Giddy aunt. You have a problem, my friend. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I wonder if they've got the pictures for these, Oh, there she is. That's the wife. Yes, indeed. I was wondering whether she might be here somewhere. Makes sense that, that she would be here if this was the detective's office. Just wondering if I recognise any of the other names. I don't believe that I do. Can barely read half of them because they're all so fuzzy. But never mind. Yes. Sorry, I was. If you were wondering what was going on in the cutscene, I was just being confused by something that was going on in OBS. It was moving stuff around, even though it shouldn't. I was getting a little confused. But never mind. There's no name on the door, so I can't tell who this is.
She barely has any experience. We don't even know anything about her. Send her out canvassing witnesses then. Let her see the streets.
No, she's coming with us. I'm going to train her. She's my responsibility.
Look, I know you say it's personal, and I don't like to talk about it, but we can't have your misplaced guilt leading to rookies slowing us down.
Sebastian. He and Joseph weren't supposed to be involved. It shouldn't have happened like this.
We shouldn't be playing a reenactment of PT, but you know, that's how life goes, isn't it? Looks like all the... Oh, a document. We haven't seen any of those yet. Looks like all the missing person posters were still up, so even though presumably some amount of time has passed... Oh, there's my coat that I'd lost. Giddy aunt. I'm so sick of playing these games. Like, my coat's stolen off me. I like a nice coat, especially in the winter.
You've been on assignment for a week. How has it been?
Observe and report, just like you ordered. It's surreal to be on the other side after all I've been through.
Any signs of anything?
Nothing yet. I'm not about to be caught snooping around the classified room while I'm still on probation, so I can't get what they have on us.
Just earn their trust. That's all you can do now. It'll take a while, but in the end, they will let you in.
I didn't know all these police officers were characters, though. Guess the tough, hard-boiled detective stereotype is still going strong.
Our reports on Oda are that he doesn't let things slide, so be extra careful around him.
Will do. Though I can't imagine us getting along well.
And Detective Castellanos. Anything you have to share on him?
Seems drunk half the time, but at least he's considerate. Is he really the one people are concerned about? He seems almost harmless.
He is known to get emotional. Just make sure to give him his space. Respect him. As your superior.
I could be jumping to conclusions and inventing wild conspiracy theories in my mind, but hey, that's popular on the internet these days, so I guess I should get with the flow of things, wouldn't I? Her tone of voice was very personal, wasn't it? That wasn't a, oh, we've read a report about this man. That tone of voice almost sounded like it came from experience. I don't know who that woman is. Hint, 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 as to who I think it might be. But, there's a possibility there. Now, that's interesting. So the reason that Kidman came into the equation was that the Mobius Corporation was interested in finding out what the Crimson City Police Department knew about them. That doesn't link it back to the detective's kid, though, or his wife's disappearance.
This is Crimson? This can't be real. The light.
A STEM prototype at Beacon.
Indeed.
Beacon. I just hope I can get there before he does.
Well, it only looks to be about 17,000 miles away, so I'm sure it will only take us about, oh, I don't know, 25 episodes. Alright then. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okie dokie then. So we are getting sort of some answers to the sort of questions of the story. Things are beginning to come together a little bit better, but there's still many explanations that we haven't had. I'm wondering whether we might not get a full explanation about the detective's kid. I don't know why I'm searching around for stuff that isn't here, but you know, I'm just going to continue doing that like the kind of crazy cretin I am. As I think the sequel handles that a little bit more. I might just get off this rocky balcony here, frankly, before my enormous weight drags it down and gets us all killed. It's like playing a game of Mirror's Edge. Right then, presumably, I don't know, I've never played that game, so I can't comment, but it strikes me I should probably get off this building sooner rather than later, before, you know, it all collapses in on me. This does not seem safe. This really doesn't seem safe. I don't know what alternative we can have. We can hardly sprout wings and fly away, but... No. Who are you? And are you looking at me, or are you looking away? No, he's looking away. It's alright. If I get close, I can boot him off a little bit and deal with him. Pushing enemies from rooftops. Press space to shove from behind. Oh, I was going to shove him from the front after I fell off. Well, that was productive.
He's not coming back.
Not unless he's got a jetpack, but I don't think he was Jango Fett. I seem to remember he was slightly more visually distinct. But never mind. Kitty aunt. Right, good. Have a small respite.
Ruben's experimentation has demanded more and more subjects, and sad to say, they're suffering as much as, if not more than, his previous patients. Fortunately, Beacon and the city offer no shortage of expendable subjects. I should feel guiltier than I do, but my Hippocratic oath was abandoned long ago. The scientific and medical potential of the work is too great to be denied. Mobius has also offered me a respectable amount of compensation. Promoting me to director at Beacon is not something to be taken lightly. First, however, they want me to have a reputation, publishing studies in various journals. Repurposing some of Ruben's research towards patient evaluation seems viable. I doubt he will even notice.
I remember Ruvik talking about that in the little cutscene where we saw Jimenez arrive with the secret men in the suits, who presumably were from the Mobius Corporation, which I think was one of the last time Ruvik was whole, if you like. He mentioned that Jimenez had been publishing his research without permission. Jimenez making the excuse that Ruvik wouldn't be able to get published. So that's interesting. Oh, giddy aunt. Would you like to go and stand over by that cliff edge, please? That'd be very kind of you if you did that. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Have a nice trip. Giddy aunt, that's a long way down. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Can I go through here? Yes, I can. Ooh, 'tis an axe. This will come in handy. I thought this would just be a hiding spot to get away from bad guys if you were being chased. But no, I think it might be a little more than that. Alright. Well, giddy aunt. No, I should, probably, pay attention to what I'm doing. Giddy aunt. You big scary faced demon person. I didn't think you'd spotted me. I thought you might have. Question is whether he's going to get close enough to be pushed off, or whether I'm going to need to axe him. There we are. Just about managed it efficiently. Alrighty then, what does this do? An elevator, presumably judging off these, but this thing that was right in front of me the entire time, and I didn't see, because, I'm blind. I have mentioned that once or twice before. Sorry, I mistook that bit of rubble on top of that pillar there for a person sitting up with their legs down the side. I probably shouldn't dawdle, to quote my driving instructor from years ago. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Beacon is close. Can't stop now.
Yes, we're making a surprisingly good time, actually. I genuinely thought this would take us a lot longer than that. It looks like an interesting or fun room with bright happy lights. Don't know why I'm not adding there. Probably because this is a horror game and I'm supposed to be being viciously assaulted all the time rather than anything else. How do I get to... I don't just click... No, I don't. Good. That would have... Oh, there was a big gaping hole in the wall. No, I didn't say. I do apologise. I didn't even need to say that I'm blind as a bat. I could just illustrate it. Getting lots of lore or something, aren't we?
Well, here's where you'll be living. The view's pretty spectacular, huh?
Holy shit. This is different than I'm used to. If you saw where I grew up.
The past is over. You're with us now. Here are the keys. It's yours. You'll have to take care of your own food, clothing, and incidentals. But your bank account has more than enough to take care of that.
So, that's it? What am I supposed to do?
Whatever you desire. But your assignment at the Crimson City Police Department is precedent to everything. You are a police officer, and you must live as such, and act as such.
I don't normally say this, but thank you.
You shouldn't be thanking us. These aren't gifts we provide. You have a very specific assignment at KCPD, and all of this is in exchange for that.
Okay, you're right. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Just show us you can do your job.
Don't thank us, don't apologise to us, just basically shut up and don't say anything to us because we're sick of hearing your infernal voice, is basically what most people say after watching one of my videos. But never mind that. Oh dear, right, 1 second please. Right, sorry about that. More on a thing needed to get sorted out. I do notice this is here. Okay, so this is another one of these, this is another one of these little games. I never quite know how I do those quite as quickly as I do. I just try to follow a sort of process, which I seem to have stumbled upon by pure random chance. But I'm grateful for that, because random chance is the only thing that has ever brought me any success in my life, because goodness knows my own attributes and traits and achievements in life. Never been enough. Right then. Sorry about that. Let's carry on and see if we can reach the hospital. At least reach it without having to borrow some kind of a glider and jump off the top of a local skyscraper.
You said I shouldn't be, but I am thankful. I don't know what would have happened to me if you hadn't brought me in. The mark. Looks like it might be my only way out.
What, that? Alright. What's this? This is a big block of red cheese, presumably. Made of marble and appears to be ornamental. Ah, as opposed to all of those totally utilitarian practical things that are made out of marble. That incredibly delicate and heavy thing that's utterly unimportant. Alright, how does this work? Okay then, so that lets me mend part of it, but it looks like it's still missing the sort of bottom left bit. I don't know what you'd call that. Segment. Pointy bit. Quadral spike. Yes, I'm sure that's definitely... Would you go through the doorway? Thank you. I appreciate you've had a hard childhood and all, but I don't think it is beyond your capabilities to go through a door. Alright, well there's the piece. The question is, what violent, vicious maniac is going to try and murder me because I have had the absolute audacity, and I can hide in these as well, to try and get that thing in my mittens. That person. That right there. Idiot. That is the wacky woman that wishes to remove my head. Oh, Gideon, she's got a big knife. Not that I've ever met one of these sorts of individuals that came around with a small knife. Never mind, those tend to usually be restricted to prisons. Gideon. Alright, let's see. I don't know, Gideon. Yeah, I'd quite like to go across here, but I don't want her to turn around at the worst possible moment. Alright, where on earth is she? I think she's over in that far corner. Oh, I can just see the top of her head over there. See her little bob haircut. Isn't that pleasant? Oh, you can open the doors while crouch. That's positively competent, and I should probably realise I can't go that way anymore. No, I can. But perhaps she's going to be looking through the, Yes, there we are. She's looking through the window now, so I have to remain crouched so that she doesn't see me, and hope that she can't smell me. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. After all of the adventures that I've been through, I can't imagine that I smell like a bed of roses. Okie dokie, there we go. Good. A lovely, peaceful elevator, because we've never got an elevator and there have been any problems.
This is your last chance to prove yourself to us, kid. Don't let us down. Bring the boy to us.
Stop it! Get out of my head!
Goodness, he actually did what we asked him to. That's awfully polite of him. I hope you get to meet a manager like that. But never mind. So we're sort of torn between going after Leslie and going after nothing. I'm not entirely sure what Kidman's initial goal to this is. Can I play the piano? Oh really? I can't play it with my feet. Oh, that would have been funny. That would have been vaguely entertaining. But no such silliness occurred. Right then. Never mind. None of that rubbish. Alright. We're not going to stop here. We probably should, but I'm not going to. A very lovely painting over there. It's not in the slightest bit creepy. Actually, thinking about it, I was thinking we were approaching the end, but I don't think that we are, really, because, as I understand it, this DLC has 2 chapters the same as the other one did, and we haven't even reached the end of the first chapter yet, so, chapter 3, that is, so, we should still have a little bit more to do. Alrighty then, where are we going? Where is the hospital? I see it not. I just see an awful lot of devastation and destruction that's going to... I was just thinking to myself how similar this looks to this bit of the game. I just thought that was too boring of a comment to bring up. And now I realise that he's...
And Joseph, too. I dragged you into this.
That was far more competently executed than I did in the game, if you remember that bit. I remember getting blown up with a lot of dynamite and not a lot else happening. But never mind. It's good to know that the AI of 2015 is more intelligent than the man in 2013. Or 2023, or whatever bloody year it is. I can't even remember these days. I struggle to remember what day of the week it is. Never mind. Perhaps I can help the detective by, I don't know, shouting at somebody and telling them off in order to make them behave their mischievous selves. This was a slightly stupid idea, and I may have set myself on fire. Should be roughly safe to get through the door now. That should continue to cover us. Hello, friend. How are you? Presumably highly shot. Oh, goodness. I've finally been given a gun again. Alright, so I've got another gun. Where's my gun? Why did you put it in 3? What sort of dunce did that? Alright, never mind. I don't have a full inventory. I just have the sort of weapon wheel. Alright. Let me stop shooting, and then shoot that, because that's a lot more competent than trying to shoot the man. It's usually given a few bullets I've got. Can we do a bit more shooting? Actually, I think I'd rather shoot them when they're near that. I don't know what this yellow one is, and if it's different to the red one, but... a bit further. Oh, box! This has been a mistake. I've made a minor miscalculation, and I have boo-booed greatly. There we are. I, for some stupid, backward reason, believe that the yellow one might be like an explosive, like a specially explosive barrel or something, compared to the red one that was just like a standard fire thing. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. Can I reload? Can I reload? Thank you. If I melee someone, will I use my axe? Probably not. I think I was supposed to use the axe on that guy I pushed off the edge rather than using it in standard combat. But we should have to wait and see. I do see the axe sort of down there. I just don't know how to access it. So we shall have to rely on a gun probably. That's clever. Could have moved it back so they all fell off, but never mind, it's giving me another opportunity to use these explosive barrels. Right, come along now, friend. Not quite so expeditiously if you don't. There we are. At least I managed to get one of them. I'm really not convinced that guy is dead. I'm also not convinced they should be standing around. Let me have these bullets, please. Thank you very much. And these ones as well. Alright then, is that everyone? Judging by those red lines, no. Probably not. Alright, I'm going to get them here in this little narrow passageway, which make it a little harder to miss them. He says, missing them a lot. If you'd all be so kind as to stop grappling me for 5 shakes of the lamb's proverbial tail, I'd be highly appreciative. I'd much rather get them with headshots, but I'm not very good at hitting them, as you may have noticed. I didn't ask to be straddled. I didn't write that down on a piece of paper saying, you owe me 1 straddle. But never mind. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be stupid. It just sort of happens, you know. It just sort of happens all by itself, right then. Let's try and get more than 1 this time. Let's see if we can get both of the twins. There we are, lovely stuff. Naturally, you won't get set on fire as collateral, and none of you will drop any bullets. Only you will drop some bullets. Thank you. In fact, you'll drop lots of bullets that I can't carry because I've got to got not enough spice. Let's try and draw them over into this side. So again, we can use the we can not use that. We can just waste loads of time instead. That's a brilliant thing to do with your day. It's not. Just finish him off. There we are. Don't really want to be finishing strangers off on the floor, but you know what I mean. Again, not convinced that you're dead, but I need to go out there, get those bullets, and make sure there's no one else charging towards me. I don't think that there is now. No, he would seem to be dead. This makes me very, very happy. Alright then, is there anything over there? I think there's some bullets on top of that yellow barrel. Unless I'm highly mistaken. I am not highly mistaken. For the first time in my life I thought something and I wasn't completely wrong. I did, however, nearly forget to reload and thus waste a bullet, which would have been very, very wrong. Alright then, let's not run out of breath because that's only immensely stupid. Presumably we're going to have to deal with quite a lot more enemies if they're going to continue to stock me up on the old little lead pellets. Or maybe not if the game is going to get all quiet and spooky once again. Perhaps I should switch back to the light. Oh, and I can actually have the light with me, can't I? Because it's on my belt. This is strange. Oh, Kitty, oh, there's a long drop there. I again find myself wondering about the,
Shit!
The bits in the do I need to run away from this, or do I actually need to fight you? I'm not. Well, there's bullets there, so that tells me the answer is fight. Let me turn the light off so I'm slightly less obvious about where I am. Can I crouch and aim? No, I can't. Where should I shoot you? I am going to shoot you right in the stocking.
I'm not running this time.
Alright, do I need to go up and do something? Giddy aunt, it says press space to kick. I shall do that if I get another opportunity. Let me just reload. What side is she on? There she is, okay. I'm curious why her light was turned off for a minute. Is that when she's vulnerable, perhaps? Or am I just looking for patterns where none exist? Why is there a lobster claw here? You giddy aunt. That was a minor mistake. By a minor mistake, I mean an enormous one. Problem is when she's looking at me, I can't aim because of the kind of, the sort of stagger thing that she brings on. There we go. Now, what does this do? I have no idea, but I presume that it's something vaguely, at least somewhat productive. She is. I think she is, and I've got no idea where she is, so I'm going to run away, even though it's so dark I can barely see enough to put one foot in front of the other one. But, never mind. Crazy nurse lady. I don't need you to be looking down my tonsils. She'd be a very good technician for things like that, wouldn't she? For, like, dentistry and tonsillitis, because she wouldn't have to hold the torch in with her as she, peers inside your face. She could just, she could just stick her face in there. Is she fallen? No. I'm just gonna reject the null hypothesis that she's fallen over. Oh dear. Which way is she facing? The direction I quite like her to be facing. And again, she hasn't fallen over, she's just charged into me again. Oh, giddy aunt, I'm almost out of bullets, and she is slowing me down so much that I can't get away from her, so we're gonna play Ring Around the Rosie for a few rounds. Go away and leave me a base. Oh dear, there better be a few more bullets here, because if we're going to go on like a classic rule of 3 situation, I'm going to need to get her injured a couple more times. Where is she? She's there. I want to get a little closer. There we go. That was easier than I expected. I thought they'd be here all afternoon. But, you know, I've only been here most of the afternoon thus far.
Did Ruvik send you? Well, I hope he gets the message.
That was a lot easier than it had any right to be. Maybe I'm just remembering the difference harkening back to Resident Evil 4 for about the 700th time since playing Evil Within. Perhaps I was thinking back to the Ada DLC for Resident Evil 4. There's no other bullets around, are there? I don't believe so, no. Where where the Saddler boss fight was so much harder in the DLC than it was in the main game, so maybe I was assuming that something similar would happen, but that was one of the easiest boss fights we've had thus far. Is this part of the game we have? Yes!
If you hadn't come along...
Oh. That's interesting. Can I see the cutscene again? Because for some reason the cutscene vanished into thin air. Or not. Have I just ruined this royally? Oh, for crying out loud, did I really lose that cutscene somehow? How did I manage that? Okay, I don't want to restart the chapter, that's like a whole episode ago. I don't want to load that save up. Oh, the autosave is where we've just come from, isn't it? Oh, I don't want to go through that again. Fine. Fricking fine. I'll turn the recording off, I'll go back to the save, we'll go to that whole fricking gun down song and dance again, and then we will have another go at seeing this cutscene, because apparently, despite the fact that I pressed literally no buttons whatsoever, it skipped it. So whoop-de frickin' doodle. At least you don't need to worry about that. Pride cometh before the fall. This boss fight's really easy. I don't understand why they did such an easy boss fight here. It doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense at all because I didn't factor in the fact that the first time I tried to do the boss fight I was just incredibly lucky and nothing else. Because yes, it took me 3 attempts. 3 attempts to get through that this time around. Not sure why, just had the most horrific stroke of bad luck, and it kept being a pain in the neck. But never mind. This time, we can have another opportunity to maybe, possibly, if we're lucky, if the game deems us worthy, see the thing.
If you hadn't come along...
Save it for later. There are probably more of them around.
Yeah, I remember this bit.
Sebastian? What is...
If I remember correctly, someone gets shot.
She's my responsibility.
I don't think it's appropriate to hug your superior. Interesting.
Sorry for putting you through this. I don't want to hurt you any more than I already have.
So she didn't shoot the
You might
detective.
try to stop me through you.
I see. She shot Ruvik instead. At least the interesting cutscene merits me spending 10 minutes screwing around with that stupid boss fight again. And we can also see if we can figure out why,
A little hasty with that gun, kid. What is it you plan on doing?
What I have to do.
No! You do what we say. You will come back with that boy, or you will disappear.
So realised the bad guy had the force. Right then, now we understand why we're running away from this guy. I have no idea why.
You can do anything to stop this?
I really have no idea why it skipped that. No, I wasn't pressing any buttons on it. I didn't. Especially didn't hold down the right mouse button, which is what normally skips cutscenes.
You're afraid of us.
Really? You idiot. That's the big spider monster. I remember it from before. It's not a fun person. It's not a cheery chap. Thank you for going to a cutscene here. I didn't have any idea which way to go.
This thing gonna run? Only one way to find out.
Shit!
What are you doing?
But look over there and you'll find out. Oh, I see. So that's where the spider monster came from. It was there to try and kill Kitty. I'll see. Did I get to do the bus driver later this time? Did I get to intern as a bus driver? I got a bit of work experience on my CV. Hooray! End of the chapter. So she wasn't the boss of this entire DLC then. Presumably, like in a slightly more abstract way, the Mobius Corporation is the boss of this. Right then, we can save now, and we can also stop now. Right then. I mean, I'm glad I went back through that for the sake of showing you that cutscene, because it was an interesting cutscene. It explained a lot, but it was just a bit of a pain in the neck. And it shouldn't have been. I don't know why that boss fight suddenly got so much more difficult. The problem was that she kind of goes through different stages, right? Like, if she's looking at you and she knows where you are, the light is red. If she's just kind of searching around for you, the light is blue, I think. And in a sort of intermediary step, it's white before the light goes off. And I think you have to shoot her when the light is either white or off. If you shoot her when it's blue, it doesn't seem to really do anything, and you can't shoot her when it's red because she's staggering you, which is annoying. Also, oddly, I didn't... she didn't, like, fall down, and then I did that kick prompt on her this time around. That didn't happen, so I'm not sure what all that was about. But never mind, it's over now, and you've seen the cutscene, which is the most important thing. So I shall say that that was a rather intense episode, and this thing has been falling out of my ear the entire time. I have to come up with a better system for this. But I hope you enjoyed that. I apologise for being quite so grumpy, but never mind. We're presumably halfway through then, if we finish chapter 3, and then we're going to go on to chapter 4, presumably in Beacon, where we are going, and we'll see what happens. I suppose we know what happens to Leslie, don't we? Because we saw him right at the end of the game as the detective was coming out of Beacon Mental Hospital. We saw that Leslie was wandering out amongst the cars. But whether that was some kind of after effect of the STEM system or not, I don't know. And whether that was Ruvik had managed to escape via Leslie, I don't know. But we shall find out all of that, possibly, later, or possibly not. These games do like to leave things unanswered. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll look after each other, and good night.